Mic checker, 1, 2. Microphone record. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in. Yo, Razor. This one goes out to Philo. I hope I pronounced that right, Philo. Maybe it's Philo. But I'm going to call you Philo Badeau. Or something along the lines of that. Recommended this via the Patreon. Much respect for joining. I do appreciate you ever so much, fellow metalhead. Clearly, as we're listening to Razor. Now, I listened to Shotgun Justice not so long back. As I record this, it's not actually out on the YouTube channel. So, I speak purely to the Patreon subscribers. But when this comes out, yeah, I'll have had Shotgun Justice out. Shotgun Justice was one of my favourite records I've listened to on this channel. Absolutely fantastic. My cup of tea as far as crossover is concerned. My cup of tea as far as thrash metal is concerned. Absolutely raging. It was just track after track of just blistering speed and mosh without being just like messy or like just too noisy in a punk rock sense. It was the perfect mix and match between instrumental clarity and just concentrated power. This came prior to Shotgun Justice, so I don't know as to whether we're going to be toning it down a notch or just keeping on the same level. But I'm looking forward to this. Such as the last track, we've got plenty of tunes. We've got 3 live songs on the end of here. We won't be doing the live songs, you know, we're going to do the studio recordings. So we've probably got, 15 tracks on here. One being 22 seconds, so maybe just sort of, it's a hidden track, so it just might be a bit of nonsense. Let's just jump in, shall we? Track 1 of 18, Violent Restitution is the record. And this is the Martial Arts. Let's go. Check, check. Come on. The crazy thing about this band is I'm an adequate guitar player, and I used to be a pretty bloody good metal rhythm player. I used to play in thrash bands. I played in crossover thrash bands, focusing on fast sections, and I know how playing at this speed consistently, it just kills off your hand. You start to lose that tightness not long into playing at this tempo for a minute, let alone when every single song is just like blazing like this. And that's what I've got to give some respect to, man. It's insane to me. Come on. So we kicked off with a little mosh pit, little instrumental. Let's keep going. Hypertension coming up next. I actually sent a message to my mate saying Razor is sick. He did the sound engineering. What did he do? Was it this? Probably not the sound engineering. Drum tech on Razor's first UK show, believe it or not. Yeah, sick, which wouldn't have been too long ago. He's a relatively young fella. So we got Hypertension coming up. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. We just had an instrumental. Now we're going to get into a little bit of vocal, I should hope. Hypertension is the title of this one. We're listening to Violent Restitution. It's 18 tracks, but it's going to be an easy listen, I'll tell you that. Let's go. Relapse Records. So we've got a different frontman as on this as what we did on Shotgun Justice. Sounds a little bit more traditional in a sense. But let's continue on. Let me make my mind up. Let's go. That high-end vocal's crazy. You don't hear that often, do you? Especially in relation to the more traditional blackened vocal we've got, like the mid-80s, early rootsy blackened vocal we've got on the main sort of verse. That was pretty good. Boom, 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 but a lot of power chord action. As opposed to like the straightforward, just thrashing metal mad tremolo picking madness. We've got Taste the Floor coming up next. I'll see you there. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Taste the Floor is the title of this one. It's track number 3 of 18. Let's go. Shout out to Philo, recommended us. No messing about. Come on. One of the real punk rock elements to this is the lack of guitar solos. We could very easily throw some shred over half of this, but we choose not to. We just keep it basic, rootsy, just blazing rhythm guitars, vocal line, pumping drums, no messing about. That's what I like. That's what I like. We got Behind Bars coming up next. That was a good tune, that. Let's keep going. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV. Behind Bars is track number 4 of 18 on Violent Restitution. We're listening to the entire record today. Let's go. Come on. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Come on. Come on. Guitar solo. Better. We switched it up quite a lot in that track, so 4 songs in, we threw a lot of curveballs, and number 1 was the guitar solo. We hadn't had a guitar solo from what I'm aware up until that point. We had a little guitar solo. I commented on it on the third track. I said, good thing about this band, and what really highlights the punk rock element to it is the lack of guitar solos. Yeah, I mean, this band suits guitar solos in all honesty, like the frantic sort of all over the place, just frenzy of it all. It really suits guitar solos. Second to that was, I mean, it wasn't mid-tempo, so to speak, but relative to the high speed. You know, we had a mid-tempo section. We shifted the rhythm a little bit. That was good. My apologies, people. So that was a nice little switch up that. Let's just keep on blasting, man. We got Below the Belt coming up. I mean, we are just having an half decent time here, aren't we? So I'll see you there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Below the Belt is the title of this one. We're listening to Violent Restitution, track 5 of 18. Without further ado, my people, let's go. Come on. Let's not mess about. Relapse Records. Quite a tech riff. His high vocals are otherworldly, don't you think? Quality drum fills. Quality. I got something for you, right? When it comes to the double kick doing like a mid-tempo, just consistent pulse, that's very heavy metal. Offensive opinion would be, I don't really like that. And I know that's completely like counter, you know, contrary to metal as a whole, but I like a crazy fast double kick. You know what I mean? But I'm really not into the do. That just doesn't suit me too much. We've got I'll Only Say It Once coming in next, alright? Track numero 6. I'll see you there. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget the rest now, people. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Razor, as requested by Philo via the Patreon. More than happy to check out a bit more Razor. Don't get me wrong. I'll Only Say It Once is the title of this one. It's track numero 6 of 18. We won't be listening to all 18. We're doing 15 tracks because the rest are like live, if not demo recordings. Not fussed on them. Let's go. Catchy riff. Come on. The way it was stuttering at the end, it felt like they were almost losing the tempo a little bit, you know? At the start, we kicked off with a right riff. Maybe, I hate this guy, Neil Ty. I hate him. Right at the start, it sounded like possibly. I lost my train of thought there. I think he's a narcissist. Start of that riff. On the start of the record of fuck's sake. Let me have some Iron Brew. I got sidetracked here. The first riff of that song was a quality riff. It was probably one of my favourite riffs we've heard so far, if not my favourite, because of its contrast to the blazing speed we've heard up until that point. It wasn't a slow riff, but it was great to hear some verging on glam rocking, you know, quality to it. It was a mosh riff. We've got Enforcer coming up next. Let's keep going. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Razor, Violent Restitution, track 7 of 18. This one's entitled Enforcer. Let's go. Here we go. The fight riff. That was Enforcer. I mean, that was the longest track we've heard so far, and it was generally the slowest we've heard, the heaviest we've heard in sort of like a generalized term. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Would you say, anybody play guitar here? Anybody a gearhead? Would you say that these amps aren't valve amps? What would you say? I don't know what you would call a non-valve amp. Is it just non-valve or whatever? Because it has sort of like a, I don't know. It's just what I would associate with the tone I'm hearing. I'd be surprised if they were valve amps. I don't know other than the sound I'm hearing. I'm really not a gearhead, so let me know if anybody does know. But that was an half decent tune. The last two tunes we've had, we've kicked off with like just chug riffs, and it's been a nice change as opposed to just like the blast forward kick to the face of thrash. We got Violent Restitution, the title track, coming up next. I'll see you there. Yes, now bless now people. Don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. We're listening to Violent Restitution, the whole album by Razor. It was recommended by Philo via the Patreon. I want to say thank you, one love, and let's continue onward. So this is the title track. Let's see what they've got going for us. Let's go. Come on. Dulux remastered reissues. So we might, well, this particular track's probably a remaster, considering it's on the Relapse Records and it's promoting that. I think generally we might have been listening to a remaster, who knows. It says Dulux remastered reissues of 3 long out of print classic Canadian thrash records, complete with expanded packaging and tons of bonus materials. And it's Violent Restitution, the one we're listening to, Shotgun Justice, which is what we heard first, and a record called Open Hostility, which I've not seen referenced before. I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's the third in the series, eh? And we got comments as well, so we'll have a look at. Jeez, 1988's thrash metal classic. This sounds ahead of its time. This sounds later than 88. This sounds like a 90s record in my opinion. I'm very surprised that this is 1988. I mean, it makes sense as far as crossover is concerned, but that's mad. We've actually got comments on this one. Guitar tone on this album. Love how the drums sound now, referencing the remaster. This band is underrated because they're from Canada, says Dime Forever. And somebody says, same with Annihilator. Violent Restitution is easily my third favourite record. Now can you guys get to remastering and reissue both Holy Terror records? Who are Holy Terror? I've never listened to Holy Terror. Never heard of Holy Terror, to be honest. It's a cool name though. Yeah, awesome. What do you reckon the coolest shirt is, people? Pick your favourite. Even though I think the album artwork's not as good, I like the third record's shirt the best. I like the layout the best. Here we go. Nice. Awesome. Not a bad tune. That was a nice change, that. Plenty of room to breathe. Just spaced it out there, didn't they? Brought that nice riff in. That was quality. That was a mosh riff. Well, it was a dance floor riff, should I say. Get your dancing shoes on. We've got Out of the Game coming up next. Alright, let's keep going. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Razor. Okay? Violent Restitution. This one's entitled Out of the Game. Let's go. Shout out to Philo, recommended this great record. Nice. Out of the game. Sounds like, is it Venom? I'm picking up. Better. That was Out of the Game. That was good. That was good. Them gang chants were catchy as hell. I like the gang chants a lot. Out of the Game. Powerful. Right, let's just keep on moving, people. We're not messing about on this record out. We've got Edge of the Razor coming up next. Alright, track number 10. Let's keep going. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget to rest now. Edge of the Razor is track number 10 on Violent Restitution. Pardon me, a little bit gassy. This one goes out to Philo via the Patreon who recommended this. Let's just jump straight in. It's a relatively long one at 4 minutes 13 on the record. Hopefully it's a banger. Let's go. Where are we at? She's my cherry pie. Ba-da-da-da. What's the gang chant say? Ignorant. Quality. These dudes make 4 minutes feel like nothing. Like, my attention span is so bad. I think I do have ADHD, just undiagnosed. 4 minutes generally can be a tough time. But these dudes, their longest songs are like 4 minutes long, and it's over like a 2-minute track. It really isn't a problem. And we've got these high-end vocals that come in, these screams, which are just fascinating, like beyond actual. They're just like, what is going on? Eve of the Storm coming up next, alright? There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, listening to Razor, Violent Restitution. Eve of the Storm is the title of this one. Track 11 of 18. Well, we're not doing 18 tracks, we're doing 15, but let's go. Come on now. Let's go, come on now. Let's not mess around. That is ignorant. That's the best moment on the record. That is the best moment on the record. That is the best moment on the record. This is punk rock, man. Eye of the Storm. Eve of the Storm, should I say? Yeah, that was the best track purely for that intro. That was incredible. That at the start. You know what I'm on about. Let's just throw this hidden track on at the end. Roll out the barrel.
When you win.
22 seconds long. Can you believe we've got 2 advertisements for it? Consume, my people. Consume. I wonder what the symbolism is behind the Audi logo. Let's go. Load of shit. Don't want novelty in my music. Or at least, you know, when we've been so consistent with the gist. Hard as nails metal music. Right, let's keep going. Discipline is the title of this one. Let's keep going. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV signing in. We might be on to the B-sides now. We're listening to Razor Still Violent, Restitution. This one's entitled Discipline, track number 13. It goes out to Philo, who recommended this via the Patreon. Let's go. Heavy metal. I think I've heard this one before. Rush. Here we go. Da 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 da. Quality, that was Discipline. I mean, we were rewriting the history there, were we? But it was good enough for me. Good enough for me. All I can say is we're going to continue onwards. We got Fed Up, which is a hard title for a track. It's a hard title for a track. Track 14 coming up. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Razor, Violent Restitution, Fed Up. Let's go. I hope it's a hard one. This is the slowest they've gone up until now. mean, it's pretty hardcore, right? That was the slowest we've ever been on that record right here at the start. Arguably the slowest that we've been like on both of the records we've checked out as of so far. It was alright. It was alright. Let's just finish this record off. We've got one more tune to go. Soldier of Fortune, alright? Let's keep going. Yo. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget to rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. Soldier of Fortune is the title of this track, and it's the last track of our listen to Razor's Violent Restitution. So thank you very much for Philo for putting us onto this via the Patreon. Soldier of Fortune is track 15 of 15. Obviously the playlist says 18, but there's live recordings from here on. We're here for the studio recordings. Let's just jump in. 3 minutes. Come on. What is bulldoze for a second then? I don't care about your feelings.
Give me the weapons, I'll finish the job. I do what I have to win. Killing the weak if they're not on my side. I don't know the meaning of sin. Unconventional, you'll pay my price. I'm betting you back to my skill. A man who's used to the violence and the use emotion has cut my skill. I'm still got the drive and I'm still got the fucking desire. Survivor of torture, disturber of peace, fighting for reasons unknown. Really don't care if I'm good or I'm bad. Bit me eyes to the toe. Like a cancer cell infesting your blood. This still haven't found me a cure. Victim of circumstance driven by greed. Believe me, my hatred is pure. I still got the drive and I still got the fucking desire. Soldier of fortune, life to be
Slayer.
living in trenches, in barracks unsaved. Soldier of fortune, treacherous crimes, motives uncertain, a sign of the times. Killing machine, evil retreat, sinister dream, municipal scream, paying my bribes, rolling the dice, shield up twice, your neck goes. I still got the job, and I still got the fucking desire. I still got the will and I still got the power to stay.
Ba-da-ba-bow. We just started how we finished with the chainsaw then. So that was Violent Restitution, little bit of Slayer. I didn't want to reference the couple of Slayery bits we had in the track because it would go without saying, wouldn't it? The amount of influence that one band had over anything that could be regarded crossover, if not death metal, if not black metal, if not anything, goes without saying, doesn't it really? Metalcore, you know, it just does not matter. That was Soldier of Fortune and that was Violent Restitution. I'm going to do one last video where I give my final overview of this record and I'll rate it out of 10 for you, so I'll see you there. Yo, what's good people? There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. Razor is what we just listened to. In particular, this album was Violent Restitution. I didn't actually look as to where this album came in the grand scheme of things as far as their releases were concerned. I do know it was one before Shotgun Justice, as that was referenced in a kind message that I received from Philo, who recommended this record on Patreon. I did listen to Shotgun Justice first and foremost, as that was a recommendation. and it was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favourite experiences listening to albums and recommendations on this channel. It was absolutely fantastic. So, Razor is the band. So far, Razor has pleased me a lot. This album was no different. Very consistent. Arguably a little more fluff ups than Shotgun Justice, but that's not to say it really detracted from the grand scheme of things. Very consistent record. There was no bad songs on this record. We had 15 songs. I mean, we had the bonus track, a 22-second bonus track, put out in track number 12. So I think the original record might have had 11 songs, 12 if you count the hidden track. And we might have had 3 B-sides thrown on for the Deluxe reissue, because there was another 3 live songs at the end, making it 18 tracks in total. But we're not listening to the live music, alright? So that was the experience. Generally speaking, we're probably looking at about 2.5 minutes average song length, if not 3 minutes. Around that, 2.5 to 3 minutes average song length. Perfect for me. That's optimal for me, in all fairness, and optimal for this channel. Not too short that it's like not worthy of doing on this channel, and not so long that my attention just like goes elsewhere. Guitar work very good. I didn't think too much to the guitar tone. I had a love-hate relationship with it. It didn't sound like, it sounded a bit electronified. It didn't sound like, you know, warm valve amps. And I don't know anything about gear, but I can just tell you that to me it didn't sound like quality amplification, or at least, you know, the engineering behind. So it sounded a bit too techy, bit too unorganic for me. But I'm not hating, that's just what it was. The drumming was good. What can I say about the drumming? It wasn't, you know, mind-blowing. It was fast and worked well with the, you know, with the guitar work. The guitar work and the drums just created this punk rock assault. Really, there was a lot of fantastic fills from the drums, but the thing was, you had to really pay attention to hear them, even though they were extra in your face. The tempo the band was going at, and the sort of blast in your face you were receiving as a whole from the audio experience, even though it wasn't like track on track on track on track, it was like relatively minimal instrumentation. It was like blasting through so fast that the drum fills were actually quite hard to pay attention to. But when I did pay attention, I was very impressed by the drum fills. Bass line, bro, I mean, you're not going to hear too much different with the bass line. Not much space for creativity with the bass line, to be honest with you, but I heard nothing wrong. Vocal-wise, pretty good. A little too old school for my liking. Bit too traditional, bit too mid-80s, you know, birth of extreme metal sort of vibe. I'm not too fond of that. I'm a bit out of touch with that sort of stuff, in all honesty. Sounded a bit like the guy from Venom. But when he did these high falsetto vocals, they sounded unlike anything I've ever heard before, and I've got to give props to that. Unlike anything I've ever heard before. That was incredible. Really cool. My favourite part of this record, which I think was just like mind-blowing, Eve of the Storm was the name of the track. The high falsetto vocal at the start of that's the highlight of the record to me. That is the highlight of the record. The way it works in with the instrumental is absolutely obscene. It's incredible. Really good. Great record regardless. Nothing I didn't expect after hearing Shotgun Justice. Shotgun Justice was just getting punched in the face each and every track. More or less the same with this record. With that being said, I'm going to rate this record 0.5 less than Shotgun Justice. I don't remember what I rate Shotgun Justice, but I'll give this 0.5 less because it didn't compare to my first listen through to that. Maybe the sound and the novelty is just worn off, because the first time I heard it, it was like, this is refreshing, this is fantastic. One thing I've got to give this is apparently this was put out in 1988. This was ahead of its time. Maybe it wasn't if you were back there in 1988, but me looking back to this year and what I associate with this year and what I associate with metal of the 80s, this sounds like a straight up mid-90s record to me. That's my opinion. And on that note, I'm going to sign out. I'll see you on the flip side, people. Peace.